Ted Bundy was an American serial killer who murdered around 30 college-age women.
In that short time span, he managed to go to jail 2 times, escape 2 times, all without being convicted.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about. Twice, even though back in the day, obviously, prisons didn't have cameras and all that other stuff, it was way easier to escape. Still very impressive.
Escaping jail
2
is one of
times
those
without
things.
being convicted as a mass murderer.
Yeah.
And it was don't even forget, like, he told was it one of the guards? He told him exactly how he was gonna escape too.
That's crazy.
Through the ceiling?
Yep.
He was like, you know how crazy it would be?
It was his friend who came and visited him.
Was it?
He said, "Look, there's this vent here. You think I can crawl through that?" And the guy didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah.
That was
His friend,
not
his friend.
He did not tell a security
It
guard.
was not a
It was the
security
same.
guard.
It was the
He
same.
was not-
Friend.
I was trying to remember. That's what I was trying
He
to
was not
They were
tripping.
they were talking. They were talking in the
But I
bar.
thought it
and he
was
talked
that's
about
still
how
like,
he could get away
I
with
was like,
killing.
I was
them.
like, I don't remember that. I don't know
no,
where you got that
that's still like
It's from the
pretty
video.
crazy, though. But he was still the point
That's
still
crazy.
stands.
All right,
He's a
but
crazy guy.
All that for a lot of circumstantial evidence. People, up until his execution, still didn't believe that he actually did this. Until the final piece of evidence, the bite marks.
Yeah. So it ended up being his own teeth which got him caught. He bit a girl who he was attempting to kidnap and kill, and they found those marks, and they were able to trace the actual impressions of the teeth back to him.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting part about this is the legality of actually taking Ted Bundy's tooth cast so they could compare it to the bite marks. Now, first of all, is this evidence hard enough? Are there any mistakes able to be made in bite marks, or
Of course, yeah.
okay?
Well, if you think about it, right? Just like taking a bite into something, there's a lot of factors that go into actually getting a good impression of whatever is making that mark into like the object that's being bitten into. It could be like, there could be factors, anything could be happening around that object. It could be afterwards that the object was tampered with. Someone else could have like had some effect on it somehow. Like, there are just so many factors that go into getting a good bite mark impression that you can't even be sure that what you're looking at is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what's crazy? Your teeth are as unique as a fingerprint. So basically, every individual has their own unique set. So it's as accurate as fingerprints. So you can basically just say, "Oh, these teeth match these teeth."
True. Another point that is a little bit better for teeth is, like, you know how teeth can be altered, right? Like chips and cracks and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are
They
caught.
move over time.
Those are caught in impressions, so you get even that much more evidence about your suspect.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in Ted Bundy's case, he actually bit his victim twice in the same spot. So it was actually pretty hard for them to analyze because one was facing upside down and one was like horizontal with it, but it was in the same spot, so they were overlapping bite marks.
Yes.
So they were able to take that apart with his tooth cast to say this was Ted Bundy. Obviously, they had a lot of circumstantial evidence up until that point, but that was a defining factor in that case.
Circumstantial evidence meaning nothing hard.
Yeah, nothing hard. They only
Nothing
had the
that
fact
would
that he
lead
drove the
them-
beetle, a few other things, people calling in saying
Saying
it was
he
his
kind of
girlfriend.
looked like the drawing, the sketch.
Yeah. The fact that his name was Ted Theodore.
He's also very,
Known as
very
the Ted-
intelligent with the way he did everything. Everything that he did was
Very
very
intelligent.
thought out.
Yeah, and
Very
obviously back then
intelligent.
it's way harder to catch serial killer. No cameras, nothing like that. Like, they had no idea where he was or when he was going to strike again.
They didn't have iPhones back then.
No, they did not.
Yeah, of course. It was 1974.
No iPhones.
Yeah. And also the fact that he killed all across the country. From California to Florida. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
First victim was California, last in Florida.
And he eventually, so he's from Vermont, but he died in Florida, which
Yeah, well,
he
he's
killed in
executed, so-
Washington, Oregon, Utah. He killed all over.
Yep.
He really knew. He had this all planned out, and he knew what he was going to do and
Now-
when he was going to do it.
Is it similar to the fingerprints? Is it legal to take someone's dental records against their will? In Ted Bundy's case, obviously they dragged him away to the room to get his tooth cast, but the legality of that. Can you just forcefully take someone's stuff like that?
I mean, I'm going to agree with what I said to an extent on the
Again,
fingerprint.
similar to the fingerprint. Yeah. See,
They caught this guy using his bite marks. He was an awful guy. It was very good
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
caught
I'm
him.
saying, okay. Of course, it's Ted Bundy. Of course, it's Ted Bundy. Yeah, he's an awful guy. Yeah, he deserved to be executed.
He's a monster.
What about in a case much smaller than this? Let's say, like,
Okay.
again, a burglary or theft. Like we went over in the DNA.
What
evidence.
is a burglar going to be biting?
Who knows? Maybe he bites an apple or something, leaves it there.
Like a block of cheese?
Like a block of cheese.
Could be that.
First use of dental records, actually, fun fact,
She
was
doesn't understand that reference, by the way, guys.
She
yeah,
will,
so
she will,
we're
she
gonna
will.
define it.
Fun
Like
fact.
that's what.
Fun fact. Fun fact.
Fun fact. First case to ever use dental records was actually back in the 1950s. Man bit into a block of cheese. They matched up his dental records. Bam.
Funner fact. Ted
Don't
Bundy.
say something Ted Bundy related for a fun fact.
Funner bad.
Funner. That is okay.
Ted Bundy was studying to be a lawyer at the University of Washington.
That
That's
is-
your fun fact.
That's a very
That's
fun
your
fact.
funner
It's
fact.
it's more fact than fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Bite
Okay.
marks.
Let's say yeah.
Bite marks have been used before as the sole evidence to convict people, including the very first time in the 1950s. It was Doyle versus the state of Texas.
Interesting.
With the lump of cheese, right? The National Academy of Sciences in the 1990s stated that bite mark, quote unquote, bite mark analysis is not admissible in court because it has not been scientifically validated.
It's a very interesting standpoint. I mean,
Yes.
It's clear that it's the 50s because that's
Scientific-
stupid.
yeah,
That's
like,
an awful standpoint.
That has
terrible.
been used to reduce sentences before.
Yeah.
Like in the
Terrible
future.
argument.
Is
People
it?
have
That's
They're
all.
basically saying, "Oh, this isn't scientifically accurate."
because there are so many other factors to it.
Mhm.
Like, yes, they are unique. Yes, you can use them. Yes, they are helpful
Why
to
wouldn't
narrow
they
down.
be scientifically accurate though?
But
It's a bite mark.
as the sole evidence,
It's
the only thing. You
That is
got
crazy.
nothing else.
okay. So this person's teeth are clearly
Sole
these
hard
teeth.
evidence,
You've matched this person to biting something at the scene of the crime.
That's it. That's the only thing you have. Is the
I'm
teeth.
convicting.
You have-
I'm
you have-
convicting.
You have an apple on the scene with teeth in it, and you have this guy's teeth that match.
He needs to find a way to put himself in that place and give an
And-
alibi for that time, just like any other suspect would. And if it doesn't match up, and you need to find more things on this guy, I think it's solid. There's enough to convict him
I think
based on that alone.
if the defendant is not able to defend themselves properly,
Yeah.
then yes, they would be convicted using bite marks as sole evidence. Maybe.
Okay, if
Maybe.
they had an
If they
alibi,
are that bad at defending themselves, then yes, maybe it would be.
if they had an alibi,
convict-
then of course not, because they had an alibi.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Shall we move on to our fun segment?
A little segment here.
All right.
Experiment. So we have here our consultant, Nick. He's actually from Vermont, which is Ted Bundy's home state. He has, so these are specially engineered molding devices, which are intended for, say, oral impressions. So these are specifically engineered to be bitten and to measure bite marks.
As you can see, Nick
So-
is doing right now.
We are all gonna take.
The agent is specifically molded to perfectly shape to the teeth of the person who bites it.
We're all gonna take a mold, and we're gonna take our own teeth impressions.
Real sticky.
Yep. Wow.
That's
pretty interesting.
really good.
It is
Trying to get a
really
clear
good.
picture
really
on it.
This
good.
is this
Alright.
is really good.
Now, little game of who done it.
Who done it?
Who done it? We're gonna take a second impression. We're gonna scramble them all up. Then we're gonna pick one randomly out of a hat. That one we have to figure out whose it is.
Well, this is mine.
That's to keep to the side for later.
Don't forget that one of these is yours. These are really good. This material.
Yes, comes flavored. Many options right here for testing. We have cherry.
Cherry.
Mm.
It does taste pretty good.
It's really good.
So this is I'm Ted Bundy and this is the girl.
Here, give me the plate back. Let's all put our ones on the plate so we can compare. We know
What?
which one's which.
I know that this one's
So-
mine.
Yeah, here.
The initial ones.
Yeah, the initial ones.
How do
not
we
the
know?
ones that we're scrambling.
These are the ones that we're scrambling?
How do we know which one is which if we put it on the plate?
Here, look, that's
Yeah,
Nico,
that's a good
that's
point.
Yeah, just keep it with you.
okay. Now we scramble.
Well, now we got to bite. Oh, I didn't bite the second one.
Bite the second
Bite the
one.
second one.
So- So I bit. Alright, we need to scramble these up. How are we gonna
Here.
scramble them up?
Here's our scrambling.
We have a
box.
little scrambling box.
We're
Okay.
sponsored by Hershey's, actually, so you can see in our scrambling box. Should we stop looking at the camera?
Is this yours?
All right,
one of these
Troy, you
yours?
put yours in.
Yes, I put
Give
mine.
me
All
one.
right. These.
We're not eating those ones.
Why not?
Okay, all four in here. Which one will it be?
I'm terrified.
Hold up, no. I'm gonna scramble again. I don't want to look at them.
They're gonna be stuck together.
Okay.
So this is
Analyzing
whodunit?
this. Cameraman, come over here. Get a closer look at this.
This is who done it.
Now
This
compare the
is
molds.
whodunit.
Oh, mine looks pretty similar.
I think
That's
that's
gotta
gotta
be
be
John.
John.
That's gotta be
That
John.
has to be John's.
Flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's John.
All right, compare. Bring the other
It's-
ones over. So
I-
this is our leading one right now.
That's gotta be John.
Mine's like falling apart and wet, but
That is
That's definitely not
no,
me.
but look,
That's
look
not.
at you look at your back too.
Here,
look it up.
flip it over.
I know.
that
I'm
might
looking-
be
I'm
me.
looking
I
at the
just
ones
bit
to the
harder
right.
on the other one.
That's not
Look.
you. So
I'm
who?
looking at the one to the right. Yours goes in, mine goes out.
Huh. Ben's bottom teeth are definitely bigger than those.
Yeah.
I think it's this mine. I just didn't bite as
It's
hard.
not yours.
It could
That's
wait.
gotta be John's.
It
No,
has to be John's. It's definitely
All
John's.
right, all right.
Ultimately, we decided that my impressions were the one matched by the whodunit in the box. So, and we were right. Our cameraman Kai managed to mark all of the stop making faces at me, Kai. Okay. Managed to mark all of the molds, so he knew which ones were correct, and we were right.
Mm-hmm. Continuing with our discussion. Footwear impressions. Valid or not? John, would you like to expand?
Now, the interesting thing about these is that they're very hard to get because depending on the type of step, depending on how much the impression that you have, in what material the impression was like put into on, whether it's dust, snow, mud, anything like that, it can vary the actual impression.
Yes, now when you say hard to get, you are speaking to the quality. Correct?
In
Yes,
quantity.
yes.
I mean, how many crimes are
That
there going
is
to be
true,
where
quantity.
there's someone stepping in mud?
Well, it's not necessarily mud, it's anything whatsoever.
Yep.
Footwear impressions are the most common, like, they are very common found pieces of evidence. They're just
You're
not
hard to match up
Yeah.
because you have a shoe brand, shoe model that could be anyone.
One, you got the outsole pattern that could
Yeah.
be all over the place, right? You got to rely on whatever material you have that actually made the impression, right?
Mhm.
So that has got to be pretty sturdy or moldable too, in order for you to even look at it, right? And then you got all the other factors that lie in the crime scene that could be affecting the impression.
Yeah. Also, impressions. Can we figure out how much a suspect weighs or whether they were running or not by the impressions? Let's say the distance between each impression could decide their stride length.
Similar to
or if they're
blood.
running.
Similar to the blood, yeah.
Yep. Similar to the blood experiment. So
Now-
that's pretty cool because that's using physics into it too.
Mhm.
Seeing if a person's walking fast, their footprints are out of place more, they're more dug into the surface that they hit.
You can consider angles to get like what was happening to see
Yeah.
if there might have been like conflict going on,
Yeah.
type stuff. And then you also got to think about footwear impressions are a lot different than footprints.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Footprints.
They're a
like
lot more
fingerprints.
specific.
Yeah,
Yes.
footprints are crazy, bro.
But do people have unique toe prints? Like, do they really like?
Yeah, well,
Look it up,
there's
look it up.
ridges. There's ridges. Yeah,
Here, look it up real quick.
yeah. Your feet have like ridges and the same stuff that your fingerprints do.
So let's say someone's walking on a dusty floor in bare feet, and they left their footprints in that, or they picked up the dust, like on a hardwood floor, let's say.
It says the footprints are also used to prove that the person was at least present at the scene of a crime and thus could have committed the crime themselves.
Yeah.
While footprints are not as unique as fingerprint or DNA evidence, they can last anywhere from a couple of minutes to hundreds of hours, or to hundreds of years. So, I think they still have like semi-distinguishable characters to them when we're talking about like the ridges and stuff, but I don't think they're nearly as extreme as your fingerprints.
Yeah.
Or common.
Well, also you're putting a lot more pressure on your feet when you're walking. Does that have anything
you
to do
build
with it?
calluses and stuff.
Yeah, you're
build up
pushing-
skin over
Well,
time.
no, you're pushing down
Yeah.
like harder on the surface. Would that push your skin in, giving you like an uneven print or something like that?
Or you could cut up your feet.
Yeah.
Cut up your feet on what?
You should
I don't know
see.
what you're talking about.
What are
What
you
if-
talking about?
What if you're
I
walking
was
on
sticking
rocks?
with
What if you're
you.
walking on rocks and you cut your foot?
Where
Where are
that
you gonna
come
get
from?
a footprint on rocks?
I don't know. I'm
Like-
just saying. What if someone had some cut up feet,
That would be a blood
Some
trail.
cut up
That would be
feet.
different. You could get
or like
DNA
some
from the
calluses
blood.
on their toes?
Yeah, everybody has
Yeah,
calluses
okay,
on their
bro.
feet. Okay. Well, anyways, footprints in general are a tool, especially from even a ballistic standpoint.
Yeah.
You could figure out like
Yeah.
just angles of other stuff too.
See, now these cases really like hit somewhat close to home because I used to be like my family used to use my bite marks as evidence against me. I used to have buck teeth,
What?
bro. I would get caught for like, bro. I remember I didn't want to eat my steak this one time. It was really bad. Like because like my family used to.
What are
like,
you talking about?
They
right
made
now?
it. They made it like well done.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to eat it, and my teeth marks were in it, and they found it thrown away, and they were like, "Oh my God, who threw away the steak?" And they looked at it, and lo and behold, it was me.
I can't say I've shared a similar experience. That's unique.
But it's at those moments when I was like,
Those
know-
moments. This happened multiple times.
How many times did it happen?
that this steak was only once. The steak was one time.
I wish I
Okay.
had a similar story to that. That's a really
All right.
It's-
Let's.
it's
We're
some-
getting a little bit off
it's
topic.
some
Let's go
dad
back to the
lore.
accuracy of actual bite marks. Now, as you can see, we correctly guessed which bite marks match up with which, both of which were mine. So, based on that, 4 people, 4 different bite marks connected to one.
Mhm.
By just the naked eye, if we could tell that that was correct, should bite marks be used in investigation to that level? Can they be analyzed like that?
I think so.
I agree. I agree that the obvious answer there is yes. Yes, they can.
No.
I don't think so.
Why?
I can admit to a little bit of bias.
Well, since you had
Since
this
the
experience.
50s, they've been doing this, Troy.
Well, it was since Troy's childhood that it's affected
Yep,
him.
Troy-
So
Yep.
I
Troy's hated
have a
dental records.
deep connection. I've wanted to stay off the grid. Dude, like, I've told you, man. You guys know this about me. I don't like
I
it.
don't.
okay.
I don't
I-
know this about.
No,
you.
I know this.
You know this. I don't like it. So I can't stand for it. I don't think it's strong enough. I don't.
What do you mean it's not strong enough? You got caught with it. They caught you.
And what if it wasn't me?
They caught
It
you.
was you.
How
It
many
was.
members of the family were eating steak that night?
It was all of the members of the family.
All
So
of
how
them.
many? Count it out. Austin,
6,
your mom, your
6.
dad.
6 members of the family. 6 people.
1/6 chance, by random chance, that they get your your teeth. 1/4 chance that we correctly guessed mine. I think that shows that guessing the tooth print is statistically significant.
That's not the meaning of that.
No, I'm
significant.
estimating. I'm estimating. Of course, you have to get a
What is
p-value
it?
and all that stuff for that. Stop looking at me.
Can we do a chi-squared residual test? We're not cutting this out. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
We're not cutting
That's
this.
blasphemy.
It's a little bit off topic, but it's okay.
Now, going back to bite marks, I still don't think they should be used. That's my main point.
And so, what's your main reason?
We have-
main
Well,
reason.
because I think it's because of all the other factors that can go
Okay.
into it. That can go into the bite
pressure
mark
of the
impression.
bite, pressure, like a bunch of other things. What was bitten into?
Can we get another answer?
It's just
like more
it's-
specifics?
I don't think you can get a clear enough. Like, I don't think that what.
You think like a
trying
person's
to-
teeth
I'm
can
trying
like
to
I'm
word-
trying to
I'm
think of
trying
an
to
answer
word
that I
this.
don't have.
No, I'm trying to word this. I think in certain cases, like the Ted Bundy case,
Okay.
you have very clear impressions of teeth, right?
Not
Yeah.
very clear. They're not dug into like that. Like
Okay, well,
They were-
in these cases, you have in some cases
two bite marks on one spot overlapping.
in some cases you have very clear impressions, right? Which those are obviously going to be stronger pieces of evidence. So I think there are other factors such as like the pressure, like that, like there are a bunch of factors that go into the quality of that bite impression, and all of those factors play a part in the strength of that impression as evidence in court.
So your
That
answer
is
is
my-
maybe. Your
that
answer is maybe.
Yes,
So-
I think it's circumstantial.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy. Like
That's
okay,
my
we went
opinion.
over this. Fingerprints,
Mhm.
unique to everyone.
Yes.
Dental prints,
Yes.
unique to everyone. Right? Why is this any different?
Can I sidebar here?
I stumped them. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sidebar. So, not to do with bite marks, but to do with specifically like skeletons. If you have their teeth, you can figure out dental records. You
Yeah,
can figure out a
based on-
location. You can figure out who did the work on those teeth. And I think that's really cool in terms of
Yeah.
in
Can it
investigatory
be done even
technique.
with individual teeth? Let's say not a whole jaw connected.
I'm not sure
that
about
possible?
that. I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
What, like connecting, like, suspect?
I think if you have a
Either,
tooth
like-
that was worked on dentally, then sure, like a tooth with a crown or something.
I don't think you can do that. I wouldn't.
Let's look
I
it up.
definitely don't. If you can't, okay. In my opinion, if you can't use like the bite to actually convict somebody, there's
I'm gonna look it
no way a single tooth. I'm looking up. Can single teeth be used as evidence in court?
It's a very vague Google search.
I mean, what do you want to like? How specific do you want to get? Safari can only bring up so
Yep.
much.
They can do it. It just depends on how many.
Yeah.
Like, you need a certain amount to match the structure of those teeth for them to work. You don't just need the angles that they come out of your jaw. Like we're telling right now is based on how crooked the teeth are, how much
yeah.
The size of them, like basic stuff.
Yeah.
But they can do it so they have a scan of each tooth. And compare
Yeah,
it
like obviously, I think
based
yeah.
on like dental X-rays
Yeah.
or medical records.
I
saying-
think maybe if I knew what we could actually like use and do to figure out like if I knew how like bite mark analysis worked, maybe I would have more confidence in it. You know what I mean? But like I don't have that knowledge.
So you're saying you're uneducated,
Yeah,
stupid.
pretty much. If I knew more about it,
If you were
maybe I
smart,
would
you would
trust it
believe
more.
that dental
Yeah,
records.
maybe.
Okay. Cue smoke on the water.
That's not your line.
Fine. Troy can do it. Troy can do it. Fine. Do it. Fine. Just
Cue smoke on the water.